When Donald Trump charged into the White House in January 2017, he came ready to win, stacking his cabinet with power players to ignite his America First revolution, a team MAGA fans roared for. But Trump's a straight talker, and in interviews, he's owned up to a first-term hiccup, leaning on politicians to pick up that 2016 lineup. He's called it a rookie mistake, one he's left in the dust. Now, seasoned and sharp, Trump says he knows who to handpick. His people, not Washington's leftovers. That grit defines him. He's never hesitated to fire anyone who flops. It's the same fire he unleashed in his 2024 campaign, tearing into Biden's team for not ditching generals who botched the Afghanistan exit, Homeland Security heads who let border crossings hit insane highs, and what Trump calls Biden's vote-grabbing hires. Folks tap just to pander to minorities instead of getting results. That real talk leadership, axing the weak, picking the strong, lit up his base and locked in his 2024 landslide. Today, with Trump back in command, we're zeroing in on those 2016 cabinet members who turned on him. Who were they? What happened after they split? And where are they now? First up, James Mattis, the Mad Dog himself, Trump's first Secretary of Defense. A Marine Corps legend, Mattis was a fan favorite for his no-nonsense vibe. But in December 2018, he stepped down over Trump's call to pull troops from Syria, a decision Trump made to keep America out of endless wars. Mattis later took digs at Trump, even calling him a threat to the Constitution. After leaving, he wrote a memoir, call sign Chaos, and settled into a gig at Stanford's Hoover Institution. In 2024, he refused to support Trump, but didn't align with Harris either. At 74, he remains a military icon, just no longer in Trump's camp. Betsy DeVos, the education secretary, was a warrior for school choice, a MAGA win. But she too bailed after January 6, blaming Trump's words for the chaos. Supporters shrugged. Trump doesn't need quitters. Back in Michigan, DeVos returned to her family's fortune and kept pushing education reform with the American Federation for Children. In 2024, she backed DeSantis in the primaries and didn't warm up to Trump after. Trump's second chief of staff, John Kelly, tried to tame the White House chaos starting in 2017. The Marine general left in 2019 after policy clashes, later turning vocal critic, calling Trump a fascist in 2023. In 2024, Kelly trashed Trump but didn't back anyone else. Now in Florida, he pops up on TV or talks leadership, a faded voice against Trump's roaring comeback. Elaine Chao, Trump's transportation secretary, kept things smooth until January 6, 2021. Married to Mitch McConnell, she resigned after the Capitol riot, calling it troubling. Trump's base saw it as her jumping ship when the going got tough. Since then, she's been low-key, working with Asian American groups and sitting on boards like Kroger's. In 2024, while McConnell backed Trump, Chao stayed mum. No endorsement either way. Trump's first vice president, Mike Pence, was the loyal wingman for 4 years. MAGA loved his steady hand until January 6, when Pence certified the 2020 election, refusing to bow to pressure. Protesters turned on him, and Trump called him out. In 2024, he ran against Trump in the primaries but dropped out, refusing to endorse him or the Dems. Lately, Pence has been more vocal, taking swipes at Trump's policies from the sidelines. He's pushed strong pro-Ukraine messaging on X, warning that Trump's wavering stance on Russia could embolden Putin and threaten NATO. He also took aim at Trump's pick for HHS, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., blasting him as a pro-abortion flop unfit for the role, so much so that his group poured resources into fighting the nomination. Mark Esper, Trump's second defense secretary, was a Gulf War veteran who took over the Pentagon in 2019, but was dismissed just days after the 2020 election. By 2024, he made it clear he would never support Trump, even suggesting he might back Democrats, a stance that Trump loyalists saw as outright betrayal. Now a DC consultant and frequent TV commentator criticizing Trump, Esper has faded from the MAGA orbit, another former ally who couldn't keep up with the movement. Dan Coates, Trump's director of national intelligence from 2017, was a Pence pal who started as a loyal pick but quickly rubbed Trump wrong. The ex-senator pushed Russia meddling claims and doubted Trump's North Korea wins, clashing with the boss's America First vibe. MAGA saw him as a swamp relic slowing the train. Trump fired him in 2019 after Coates nearly bolted over Syria troop cuts. Coates later griped Trump lacked a moral compass and in 2024 endorsed Pence's failed presidential bid, betting on his old Indiana buddy over Trump. Now he's back in Indiana, a quiet nobody to MAGA, out of Trump's orbit and off the winning team. Nikki Haley, the UN ambassador, was a rising star in 2017. She left the role in 2018 on good terms, maintaining a cordial relationship with Trump, while carving out her own political identity. However, her 2024 presidential primary bid put her at odds with him. She attacked his age, questioned his stance on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and pushed for stronger US support for allies, earning backlash from MAGA era as a war hawk. After dropping out, Haley eventually endorsed Trump, but has continued to openly challenge his foreign policy decisions. Rex Tillerson, Trump's first Secretary of State, was an unconventional pick, a former ExxonMobil CEO with no political ties, chosen for his business acumen. However, tensions quickly emerged as he clashed with Trump on key issues, including North Korea, Russia, Iran, and the Paris Climate Accord. Their relationship deteriorated further when Tillerson later described Trump as undisciplined and uninterested in details. In March 2018, Trump fired him via a tweet, proving he had no hesitation in cutting loose those who didn't align with his vision. After his exit, Tillerson retreated to Texas, avoiding politics and skipping any endorsements in 2024. Then there's the crew Trump fired, who grumbled but never fully turned against the American president. Jeff Sessions, his first attorney general, began as a staunch MAGA border hawk, but fell out of favor after recusing himself from the 2017 Russia probe. Fired in 2018, he's since kept a low profile in Alabama, remaining silent in 2024. Alex Acosta, Labor Secretary, got the boot in 2019 over his Epstein past and later jabbed at Trump's chaos, though he stayed low-key since. Nearly half of the president's original team either opposed his 2024 run or stayed quiet, but that didn't slow him down. Trump's historic comeback in 2025 with diehards like Pete Hegseth and Kash Patel proved he doesn't need fair-weather friends.
Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to our channel for more great content.